And we are live. So, welcome, a warm welcome to each and everyone from Let Us Talk It team. Thank you so much for tuning in for our live webinars, or instead we call it Zipiners, or as we try to zip in two knowledge or two informations in just one session to make sure to give you a bunch of information instead of just getting one in just a short in a shorter period of time, because we value that you need to work, but also learning needs to be constant. So this is a free Let Us Talk It Zipinar, free for everyone. So anyone joining right now on YouTube, just try to invite more people, or if you want to join Zoom live to interact with our speakers, it is also free. So this initiative is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. They are an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan, and they aim to give back to the community by sharing knowledge for free, as they believe, and we believe that knowledge should be free, and everyone should be able to collaborate and share their insights and opinions with the informations that they learn, as personal opinions and perspectives hits different and gives more value to the information that we learn from day to day. So we have interesting topics today, and definitely the first topic is new to the Let Us Talk It Zipinar, and we are really excited to hear about this topic, as this will make changes as well, as you know the generations right now are changing. So the first topic is game development. So it may be underrated in the professional corporate world, but definitely it's worth looking into to see what we can learn to the process. So the speaker will be presenting about Unity 3D and its basics and introduction to augmented reality or virtual reality. So the speaker that we have here is Akshali Jain, and she is a game developer, and she's also, yes, a technology enthusiast with more than 2 years of experience in the gaming industry. And currently, she holds position at Harmonia Laboriosa, a Portugal-based company where she contributed to various immersive technology projects. And alongside her passion for gaming, she possesses strong team leadership skills, enabling her to effectively guide and collaborate with colleagues. And additionally, she is enthusiastic about mentoring and teaching aspiring programmers, and her dedication to gaming serves as a driving force in pursuing success in her career. So, we are inviting those who are really into gaming as well. If you wanted to learn and you are into programming and developing, so this is one of the sources that you can get knowledge from. Let us talk it Zipinar, as here we have Akshali Jain to talk on this topic for free. And without further ado, I'm giving her the table to start with the topic.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Akshadi, and I'm here to present you some insights on game development. So let's start. I'll just share my screen. I hope it's not disturbing my design. So yeah, what's game development? Like game development is about developing the games, which it's personal to each and everyone on this world. And game development is very important in this era. You must be thinking like game development is okay, like people who make games, like they are very hardworking and they do lot of work. So let's do some insights and informative on game development. Okay. So now first thing, why should we make games? Like it's okay to play games, it's okay to review on some game, give feedback on game, but what it gives us, like some expectations. Why should we make some games? First thing which must be coming to your mind must be you must have a good problem solve. Like if you make games, you will be having a good problem solving skill. Second thing you will be getting is if you make games, you are just crazy that you are making a game and you are developing something for this world, which is like a problem solving which uses your real brain to do some insights. But actually, the reason, let me tell you. First thing, games are very personal. For each and every soul on this world, games are personal to each and everyone. For example, today I have played a lot of games, but I have in my dream that we can make a game like this. There should be some edited game, and either if you are watching me, you must be having some of your game ideas inside your mind, inside your heart, which you keep inside and don't tell to anyone, but that's what you want somewhere. That's why games are personal. Second thing, games make a lot of money. Like I think I can give you example of Rockstar GTA 5, GTA 6 will be launching soon. So like these are companies which makes a lot and lot of money. Once you make the game, and forever you will earn the money. Third thing is game development is not like a very basic software development, website development. It's like you are driven by, like you are given, you have to show your creativity, you have to show your artist, you have to show your innovation in the game. That's make it very beautiful and very very crazy. Now, let's go on some insights on what is game developer and what is gamers. Like, I know you must all be knowing what is gamers, right? Gamers are someone who play the game, who can play it for 10 hours, 12 hours, or 24 hours a day. Like, it's like, for example, if you give me a game PUBG, I can play it more than 6 hours. If you give someone a big game, they want to explore each and every part of it, and they can play it a lot and lot. But what about game developers? Like, these are the most hardworking person which makes game for you. And like they work for 10 to 12 hours on particular game and for on particular day for particular 3 to 4 months. Then how it is developed on a beautiful game. So the game developers are the one who makes the game, who develop the game, who use their innovation, who use their creativity to make the game. And gamers are us who play the game, who just play game and give feedback on it and explore the game on its limits. That's the difference. Now, let me tell you, can you tell me market of games? You must be thinking it's around $200 billion, $100 billion, but no, it's around 249 billion, and it's going to reach $350 billion in the next July 24th. It's just a prediction, it's just an analysis. So you can understand like how enlarging the game industry is going now. Like earlier there was no scope for game development, but right now if you see on every fifth company is working on game development. Although each and every company is working on software development and software engineering, but game development is something, it's a passion which very less people have, and but they crack in their life, in their career. Next thing is, you see the market of games, it's like around $250 billion, right? But you must be knowing this Marvel films. Marvel films are someone, for example, Avengers, it's a very famous series, Avenger Infinity Wars or X-Men, which whatever films comes in Marvel, all they use is VFX and production, which are made using game engine softwares, Unreal. So, do you know their market? Like, I am sure. You must be thinking it's around $100, $200 billion, sorry. Yeah. And it will be off. You must be thinking like they are so popular, they are so engaging, like everyone wants to watch them. Means they must be having a good market than game development. But actually, you are wrong. The market of Marvel films is $30 billion, and the market of game developers are $250 billion. So there comes the difference. I'm not comparing both the things, but I'm just analyzing that where you stand and where is the Marvel films and where is the game development, right? But we have heard lot of Marvel films now, but very less about game development. So today I'm here. Now you must be like thinking like, if you have gone to my like previous 2 to 3 slides, I've explained what is game development, game player, gamers, and like market, right? This must be engaging that what if I want to make a career in game development? What if I want to do something like creativity, some innovation in my like personal life? What if I want to make my own game? So there are lot of careers where you can make your game. So I'll just show it to you, like the most of the careers, right? So first is like game designer, programmer, artist, animators, sound designers. So let me tell you about a brief introduction for each of them. For example, if you want to make a game, first thing is you should have a good interest in yourself. For example, interest is very important when you want to make a game, and interest give you a lot of uh, what to say, dedication and what lot of passion to make the game. For this, first thing is programmer. If you can make your own logics, you can make your own problem solving. If you can build your own logics, then I think I suggest you to go with programmers where you can code and easily you can make your logics. But if you have something creativity, if you want to design your own game, if you want to make some innovation, if you want to make some the colors in the game, then I would suggest you to go with animators, artists, designers, or testers, which is a very, very famous field. Next thing is if you want to have some journal, like if you want to become a producer or manager, then 3D journalist is the right field for you. Now, let's go on some softwares which are used to make the games. So, first thing is Unreal, and second is Unity. These are the most like right hand and left hand of these game engines of the games. So, like most of the company, almost every company either use Unreal or Unity to make the games. It totally depends on the dependencies of the game. For example, if the game is AAA, if the game is very like passionate, then we go with Unreal Engine. Or if the game is a low poly game, it's 2D game, most of the hyper casual games are made in Unity. But most of the like AAA games, for example, which have very high graphics, it is made in Unreal. Now let's go on some programming languages in game development, which are very important. First thing is C sharp, like right. So scripting language C sharp, it is used in Unity. In Unity, you can make scripting like programming language C sharp. You need to learn basic concepts such as OOPS, DSA, and then you can go on C sharp and you can just write little scripts. For example, printing something, and then the if condition, for else condition. You can let a bit and bit. So I must say C sharp is similar to Java, right? So if you know how to do in Java, then you can easily learn C sharp. But if you want to do a lot in C sharp, then you should practice a lot for Unity. Next is C++. This is a coding language which is used for Unreal. And if I tell you C sharp is used for Unity. And before I told you that there are two softwares which are used, Unreal and Unity. Right? So this is a process how you can become a developer, how you can become programmer. Now let's go on C++. In C++, you can see, right? Like we can make we have to learn Unreal Engine specific programming language because there are Unreal Engine library files which you need to learn to write their C++. The C++ used here is not a normal terminal C++ which we use to code DSA or OOPS. It's different and it uses Unreal Engine library files. So you need to learn the Unreal Engine library files to make this C++ execute. Okay. Now, we are done with the Unity Unreal. We are done with the game development career. Do you want to make something creative? I have something creative, more creative for you. First is augmented reality and second is virtual reality. These two are the most moving immersive technologies right now in the market. Everyone wants to work in these two main companies, two main technologies. First is AR and VR. AR is something which you see the 3D visual 3D objects in the real world. For example, Snapchat. For example, you can see different platforms where you can use it. For Instagram is also has filters which are very common nowadays, and you see the 3D objects or the 2D objects in the real world. Virtual reality is something when you see immersive technology inside your eyes, right? You need to wear the headset for this, and you can see, and you must have heard of lot of medical projects which are made in virtual reality. Virtual reality is mainly helping in health sector. Secondly, Secondly, it's helping in medical, the operational sectors. Third thing it's helping is to increase the tourism, right? In the tourism, you can, if you go to a some big museum, you will be definitely seeing a virtual reality headset, and they in the headset they show you different environment, different cultures of the people earlier, people like they used to follow in 90s. So this is something very innovative coming in the mind, and this is something crazy which is like booming the world and it's going to boom it in the next 10 to 15 years, because AR and VR are the technology which very less people know, but those who know, they do a very good in this technology. And you can create from anything to everything in this technology, because they are like so beautiful. So now to explain you some AR VR examples, I am here with first. There's a Pokemon Go game which is very famous, right? So it's an AR game, and in which you can see the Pokemon in different places. And I am sure that you must have played this game in your childhood or in your teenage time. But this game is the perfect example of augmented reality. And next example comes for virtual reality, which is very common, and that's Beat Saber. It's a very fun game. It's good for exercise. It's good for health, and you can play it or like a lot more time, like not 1 hour, 2 hour, you can play it for 5 to 6 hours also. Like this is a very cool game, and like it's a red blue game, and it's totally in virtual reality. And to be honest, from my review, when you play this game, you forget the world. So this is about virtual reality and augmented reality. Now, we have talked about game development, AR, VR, all the careers and everything in this presentation. Now, this is this word, metaverse. This is something like you must have heard it with at every third day of your like work, because metaverse is something like everyone want to know what is metaverse, what is actually happening in metaverse, and why it's so famous, right? Nowadays, because metaverse is like it's your space, it's your virtual space where you can like purchase NFT, kept it, or you can just sell your NFT, or for example, it's a virtual space. For example, the Zoom meeting right now we are having, it's also a virtual space, and it's counted in metaverse, where you have your space, you can communicate with different persons, you can have your property deals or have your different business deals, and you can communicate and you can experience your life in the physical world. But for example, let me tell you one example for metaverse. For example, my friend lives in United Kingdom, and like day after tomorrow, I have to sign one deal with him, and it's very important. Definitely, if I want, like there are some restrictions due to which I cannot go to United Kingdom, and I cannot see him face to face. But I can bring it on metaverse. I can bring on one platform where we both can incorrectly sign a deal, and we both can just communicate with each other perfectly without having any involvement of third person. That is metaverse. You have your own on virtual space, right? Now, augmented reality and virtual reality are just part of metaverse. There are 8 different technologies which are in metaverse, such as blockchain, IoT, and different technologies. And AR, VR is one of the part of metaverse, which is very important. Now, if you want to become an AR VR developer, I'm sorry for this. Like if you want to become an AR VR developer, there are few steps which you have to follow to become, and you have to be patient about this. But before that, I tell you, for example, first thing is you need to have a very deep interest in yourself. If the passion and dedication and interest, these things are needed to become a game developer. And second thing, you should not expect a good amount of salary, like a very high salary at the starting of your career, right? As a fresher or as a 1 or 2 year experience, you need to have patience, because it will take time to grow in the game development. It will take a lot of time, but this field is like once you grow, you will never want to go back. So in this field, like in the game development, you need to have practice, you need to have patience, and you need to have passion. These 3 P are very important. So let me tell you. First thing is you need to decide a goal. As I told you that if you want to become a programmer, you can write a lot of logics. and you can use the code to write a logic. And if you think you are not a programmer and you want to do something, you want to add colors to your games, you can definitely do modeling, you can do artist, you can do technical artist, or you can do designer, everything. Now, after deciding that, you need to decide what engine do you want to use. Do you want to work for game Unity developer, or do you want to work for Unreal? They're different for each and every prospect, because Unity work on low poly and Unreal work on very high graphics. So it depends on your configuration of your laptop, it depends on your work, it depends on your passion, like how do you want to work. Next thing is you should start from basics. Like you should not jump to a very big project at the starting and you should just go and just boom it that okay, I will do this project in 1 month. No, you should not do it like this. You should take a project of 1 day, complete it, do different projects of one day, at least for a week, do 7 projects or 5 projects, and then proceed ahead. That will bring your basics and you will be able to understand, okay, this is the thing I am not able to do, and this is the things I am very mastered at. Once you do it, you should once try Google AR code. This is very important. Like Google AR code gives you the basic and the detailed understanding of augmented reality and how to use that. So well, you have game development in your pocket, and if you have one technology, either AR or VR in your pocket, that booms your resume and you have a good resume as well. Last thing is that you should like join the communities, right? Like you should join Discord communities, WhatsApp community, connect with different people, have connection with different people, talk to them, communicate with them, and just like engage yourself and like develop your passion towards this, because when you have passion, no one can stop you, this is for sure. Now last 2 points are like I already told you that first you need to follow some YouTube tutorial or some like Udemy courses where you can purchase and you can just have a deep understanding of the engines, and you can just you become so capable that you can able to code your engine, your program or your game. Next thing is you should always have practice. Practice is very important. You should never leave. At least once in a day, you should write one code to do something good in game development. And you should have a lot of patience. Patience is very much required, because I'm sure you will encounter lots of error in the starting. But when you go after 2 years, 3 years, you will have less errors. After 5 years also, still you will be having error. This is for sure. So you should have a lot of patience to develop something, and you should wait a lot because there are lots of works, and you should be very confident about your work. It should not be like that, right? So that's all from my side, and thank you, Phil, for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ashali. So, yeah, actually, we have here questions from Zoom attendees, and we have a question earlier from YouTube Live. So,
Okay.
Vishen, the one that gave the or asked the question first on YouTube. So his user is I'm last AVL or Imlast. How do you read it? So he asked, how do you stay updated on the latest developments and trends in the gaming industry?
You can stay updated by using LinkedIn. Of course, it's the best tool to stay updated. And second thing is we have some WhatsApp communities for this. Like, or if you want to stay more updated for the same, you can follow the Unity engine or the Unreal engine on their website. They provide a lot of newsletters from there. You can stay updated.
All right. And the second question that he had is that is game developer a software developer, and which companies should we target for that?
Okay. So software developer is someone who works on technologies like cloud computing, website development, and different development. And it's not fixed about one development. He works for like different technologies at the different time of his life. But game development is someone who works for like who start with working on game and end with working with games.
Thank you. And yes, thank you, Imlast AVL from YouTube, who wrote the questions for our guest speaker here. And we have from our attendee, Akash Sharma, asked, what do you think are the most important skills for a game developer to have?
The most important skills that a game developer must have is like first it must have a good communication, because when you are making a game or when you are just working in a team, then like it's very important to communicate your game. It's very important to make them explain your game, because one problem can sorry for the light. uh, like for the one problem, like for if you lack communication, then like your game is not that much that much good. And second thing you must have is the like if you're working on Unity, then you must have a good command on C sharp scripting, because scripting is very important. And if you're working on Unreal Engine, then you must have a C++ command. That is very important. So two things are very important. First is as a good communication is required, and second thing is required as a good programming language and a good engine.
All right. And the follow up question that Akash Sharma has: what are some ethical considerations you take into account when developing games, especially in terms of content and player interactions?
So, one thing I always use is like players' feedback before developing the game, like such as generating the survey forms or generating different like methods to take their feedback. All I know that on survey forms, no one write correctly, right? Like they write very less. So, second thing is I go with the flow. For example, whatever game I am making, for example, if I'm making some game on human behavior, I will search for some games which are already made on this thing. Or if I'm making some car racing game, then I will search for different platforms where car racing game is made and what features they have. I will try to for example, what try to make or just clone them and just edit add them more features to them. So that's make the game very hit.
All right. And yes, he added additional question, but we'll park it after Ashwin as he is raising hand. Yes, Ashwin, you
Okay.
can open your mic. Ashwin, your audio
Am I
isn't
audible?
clear.
Am I audible, right?
Not very. Like there's some. I'm not sure if it's like robotic or some electronic.
Yeah, Ashwin bro, background noise கொஞ்சம் கேக்குது.
Yes. So we'll park Ashwin's question and let's have him has a with his yeah voice. So we'll take care of Akash question. Can you discuss the importance of user interface and user experience design in game development?
User interface plays a very vital role in game development, because it's about the look of the game, how the game looks, and how it will be designed. So, for example, if game is very good, it having lots of logic, and if it's not looking good, then definitely it will be no one will play it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Please continue, Akash. You are
Yeah, I thought some voice came in between, so that's why.
yeah, no problem. So yeah,
Yeah. So
please.
UI UX plays important role, because as a designer, if someone is making a very boring UI or very boring interface, then no one will play that game, although it has a number of logics. But if the looking is very good, okay, the teaser is very cool, then everyone wants to once play that game. So that's the importance. How user experience and user interface play a role. And user experience, in that you should always keep in mind some points for before designing the user experience. For example, there are some position of some buttons. For example, play button is kept at the bottom, menu button is kept at the top, settings is kept at the top. So these are some important user experience that you should keep in mind before designing the user UI, so that like user being already familiar with that type of UI. So that's all.
Yes, Akash. Yeah, please go ahead if you wish to open your mic. Yeah.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, bro.
Oh, let me.
So actually, my question to the
Yeah.
webinar is like actually there is a wide range of platforms, and since creating a app which is related to something which is artificial, like augmented reality and mixed reality, is a hard process and also a tedious process, right? So how long does it take to actually build an app if you're just making an outline or a framework or something?
To make the framework of the app, for example, if you are using AR VR take, and if you're not familiar with that technology, right, if you are making for the first time, then it will take you around 2 weeks to make the outline of the app. And if the app is very big, if you have a lots of blueprints in the app, then it will take around 1 month to make the outline.
Yeah, got it.
All right. Thank you. And yeah, Akash, you were about to unmute, or Mohammed. Yeah, you wanted to ask.
Yes, in future, how the virtual reality, what based, so virtual reality, what based, sorry, sir, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not clarified to ask the doubt.
Yes. If you want, you can type your question in the chat. Yes. This is addressed to Akshali. What consumed the VR videos?
What consume means? I didn't understood that.
In case we see YouTube, the data will consume the kind of that. In case we see virtual reality video, what they consume.
Phil, I did not get the question properly.
Yeah.
I just ask again one time. In case we see any YouTube video, the data will consume for that video data package.
Oh, yeah,
Got it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that same kind of in the virtual reality video, what they want consume.
Okay. So, like virtual reality videos consumes your headset, and it consumes like
Uh,
data, of
uh,
course.
I got it, ma'am. But blockchain only oriented to virtual reality, so that's why I'm asking that. I think he's asking about the respective backend based things which are required for viewing something. I think he's asking that.
Okay, to view something in virtual reality. So, like, you require an one headset, and you require good internet connection, and you require some like software wherever you want to publish, like wherever you want to host your like virtual reality video, you can host it on YouTube also.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another question. Like, suppose just assume we're having a kind of idea for a startup which is related to this sector, but our domain is different. So, for example, let's say I'm into cybersecurity domain. I have an idea of building something which is related to cybersec, but in AR and VR. Okay. So, what kind of procedures should I make in order to make pitch my idea? So, what can I do in order to implement my ideas into VR? So, is there any kind of agencies who work for this particular projects, or how could we actually convert a particular idea into reality? Do we need to
Okay.
build a set of teams, or what's your opinion about this?
Like, I have not seen lot of organization working on cybersecurity as well as AR VR. But I can tell you, if you want to merge this two technology and build something new, then you should proceed with working with cybersecurity first, and you should analyze if you can do some work that cybersecurity work in either augmented reality or virtual reality. Once you are confirmed with a basic blueprint, like you can do this. Okay, once you initiated the merge of technology, then you can go ahead and proceed ahead with the proper blueprint of your project or proper blueprint of your pitch, right? So, like, I suggest you to, before proceeding with this AR VR with cybersecurity, like start working, or like at least work for 1 day project there where you can merge with AR VR and cybersecurity. If you are able to do so, then you should proceed ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Ashwin bro,
Actually, I have a plan of
there
building
have
such
this
an
unique.
application.
Yeah, okay, bro. You
Yeah,
you proceed. I will later. I
yeah,
will
okay.
tell.
Yeah, okay. Actually, we have a plan. Like, I have a startup called Astra Cybersec, where we are actually currently undergoing cybersecurity based projects over there. So we thought to step into this sector, which is AR VR, implementing our projects into augmented reality. We have an idea, a small idea. That's why I've just asked and inquired about it.
Yeah, sure. So, like, we can connect later on LinkedIn, like, right?
Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah,
can
sure.
talk a lot,
Yeah,
right? I think
yeah,
right now we have the session, so
So
yeah.
there more kind of some unique language for that virtual reality. So we move ahead that use some fundamentals.
we have C# programming language for virtual reality.
Got it now. That oriented to any cyber security domain.
No,
Okay.
Alrighty. So that takes care of that. So thank you so much, attendees, for interacting with our speaker for the first topic. So yeah, you can type in the remaining questions in the chat, and then we can move forward for the next topic for today's session, which is also fascinating to hear. And yes, like the evolution or the improvement of in this area, it is still very fast and ongoing. And well, to tell you the topic, it is actually um, hacking demystified. So this is an introduction to cybersecurity. So we will be delving into the domain of cybersecurity with our speaker today, which is the founder of Astra Cybersec, and his name is Ashwin Raghav, and he's a researcher and founder of Astra Cybersec, and they delve into educating people who are willing to pursue their career in cybersec domain. Also, they provide cybersecurity solutions for companies and also contribute to the society by awareing people about the cyber crimes in their webinars and their events. So, yeah, along the end of your discussion, make sure to invite people with regards to your seminars about cybersecurity for them to be able to take advantage of that. But without further ado, let me present to you Ashwin Raghav to talk about the topic for cybersecurity.
So a warm welcome to everybody who are present over at this particular webinar. I really thank John for giving me this wonderful opportunity to convey my ideas and knowledge regarding and related to cybersecurity. First of all, a great and humble thanks to you for inviting me as a guest speaker over this Let It Talk webinar. So, let me say a small glimpse of myself. My name is Ashwin Raghav. I'm a cybersecurity researcher and an entrepreneur of a startup called Ashta Cybersec, which is a kind of startup which we delve into creating some sort of equipments and projects which are related to cybersecurity, and also we delve into projects which are finding vulnerabilities and bugs of popular companies and websites. So we also provide some sort of trainings, and also we educate people and we aware people about the cyber crimes that are occurring at this generation. So that's what defines what I am.
Yes,
So
you are a right point, brother. Nowadays, the cybersecurity, non-IT people also enter. They don't know proper ethics and protocols. So that's why the more crime happened to our side.
yeah, you're right. So let's begin into actually what cybersecurity is. Cybersecurity is nothing but it is an act of protecting the computers and systems which are currently evolving. Since in this particular generation, in this particular era, everything is digitalized. Most of the people we use technologies, we use computers, we use or each and everybody uses mobile phones and those kind of things. So we don't know how far it is secure to protect our data. Data is an important thing when it comes to privacy, because whatever you search, whatever you do on the internet is not what only you know or something else. Everything is open, and each and every person's data is being linked to the internet. We don't know what or how our data is being leaked. There are multiple data breaches. Data breaches are nothing but it is a kind of data leaks which are done by certain companies due to the insecurities in their particular systems. So what are actually these? Like they say hackers, malwares, virus. It is a common terms which we hear in our day-to-day lives in the newspapers and also televisions. So actually we must be aware of what exactly are these things. So let's begin with the session. I'll share you a particular PDF. Please hold on.
Yeah, sure, you proceed.
Okay, so bear with us for a quick moment.
Yeah, just
All right.
So is the PDF visible to you? I think it's
Yeah.
yeah,
visible to you.
yeah, bro. Visible, sir.
Yo, yeah. So today, what we are exactly going to see is we're going to see a basic, clear-cut introduction to cybersecurity and what exactly is cyberspace. What are the cyber crimes and types of cyber crimes are occurring in the society nowadays, and also the ways, the methods which we can use in order to resolve this kind of cyber crimes, and how to be safe from this kind of cyber crimes. So today's session will be like it is a kind of brainstorming session, and we'll be discussing about all the concepts which are related to securities and cyberspace, cyber crimes, types of cyber
Yeah,
crimes, and all
yeah,
those
bro.
kind of things.
I have one doubt.
Yeah, proceed on.
Yeah, you cover the all over or any one country mentioned that cybercrime
Uh,
cases.
it is a kind of global event, so most probably I'll be discussing most of the things which are there, which are currently being practiced by all over the globe. It is not
Sure,
a
sure.
country
Proceed.
specific or a certain region specific thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, proceed, bro.
Yeah. So let's start the brainstorming session. Okay.
Mm.
So basically, a common people, if they hear like a random people who is there in our country or in our nation, what they think is cybersecurity. If a person calls a term which is cybersecurity, what they think is they think as a security guard or something. But actually, security is nothing. Security is nothing but it is a kind of protecting the systems. The way we maintain the systems, the way we maintain the data, the way we protect the data is called cybersecurity. there are a lot and lots of domain in cybersecurity. For example, in cybersecurity, if you look at the job case, the career case, there are opportunities like network administrator, red team engineer, blue team engineer. Red team is nothing but it is a kind of thing where we actually protect the systems by attacking the systems. We do some sort of attacks techniques, in order to penetrate the system. We find bugs. After finding bugs, we resolve those kind of bugs over there, so that by that we could able to protect the kind of site in order to make our data safe.
Yes, got it, brother.
So another such domain is blue teaming. So blue teaming comes into part is like what they actually blue teaming do is they are from the defending side. If there is any kind of cyber attack or if there is any kind of malware which has got into the network, what they do is they just analyze all the kind of data over there, and they just specify, like they just analyze those data's logs, and they find this is the malware, and they just terminate this thing. So I'm saying few terms, right? This kind of terms such as blue team, malware, trojan. So actually, what are these? These are actually technical terms that are used in cybersecurity. So basically, there are what we do is there is a term called hacking. Hacking is defined by a lot of terms by a lot of people, but according to me, hacking is a art of exploitation. The way you penetrate into a system is called hacking. There are multiple kinds of hacking. Like there are kinds of hacking. You can say computer hacking, you can say IoT based hacking, network based hacking. You can say RF radio frequency based hacking, and
Yes,
also
one thing I want to say, which connected with technology and internet oriented, they all are hackable.
yeah, actually, hacking is a common term, but most probably people who do computer hacking are defined as hackers, because that is where when this term came into action. This term came popular because most of the hackers are termed as people who do hacking on computers. So basically, like if you want to learn or pursue cybersecurity as your career, what you have to do is first initially you have to learn certain programming languages. Like you could learn Python, you could learn Linux. Linux is the operating system which we use in order to learn all those kind of commands and all those kind of tools. We There are certain tools for certain things.
I think
So if
which
you
is
want to
automation
pursue,
and the making scripting, that kind of language we learn. I think so.
yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So, for example, if you want to pursue your career in cybersecurity, you have to have your fundamentals strong in these kind of programming languages. So, for example, you could say like Python. Python is the language which is used for most of the tools which are running. Second thing, we could say we can have Java. Why Java? Because Java is used because there are kind of certain commands and certain vulnerabilities which works under JavaScript. Because in order to break a system, you must know about the system, right? So that you must be familiar with this languages called Python, Java. Also, few cases we need HTML also. HTML, Linux. Linux is a kind of operating system. Like we most probably use Mac or Windows, right? So Linux is another kind of operating system, which is open source operating system, which most of the companies and most of the hackers and most of the people who are in cybersecurity, they use this kind of OS. Especially there are types of OS in Linux called Kali,
Yeah, correct,
Parrot,
correct.
Debian. So
Based
these
on
kind
that
of,
tools.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
keep
what
proceeding.
people do is they learn this kind of things initially so that it would be convenient for them. After learning these kind of fundamentals in the programming languages, they do is they just learn certain tools. There are tools like, for example, you could say Metasploit framework, you could say Sniffer. There are wide variety of tools there out there for different kinds of perspectives. For example, you could say that there are kind of vulnerabilities called like actually basically if there is a system there will be some vulnerabilities. So there are kinds of vulnerabilities like it may be XSS attack. It is a cross-site scripting. It is a kind of attack, for example, or else it could have SQL injection attack, or else it could have HTML injection. or else we could say it has RC, remote code execution. So these terms, these are certain bugs. Okay, what bugs means? Bugs are kind of vulnerabilities which makes the entire system vulnerable. If you have access to these bugs, or if you could able to get into this bug, you could expel the data exactly. So that is what this kind of, there are not only these kind of bugs, there are a wide range of bugs. So we must learn about these kind of things first. So we must learn what exactly is bug is, what are the types of bugs are there. So if you're pursuing your career into red teaming, you must learn about these kind of things first. So what are the bugs are there? So what are the kinds of tools which people use? See, actually, cybersecurity is a vast domain. You couldn't able to specify in one set of things. For
So,
there is a kind of domain called network security. Actually, if you're using a phone, what you will do is you will be connecting your thing to your router, every of your device, like your personal area network. Your PAN will be connected to all of your devices, right? Your phone, your mobiles, your television, your IoT devices, like smart devices. These all these kind of things create a network for you. That is a personal area network. But if this same kind of networks is implemented for a large area, for example, we could say around 100 kilometers in an office space or in a kind of computer building, you could say they
yes,
require some monitoring in order to ensure the safety of the particular data, because all the data which are transferred into a company, for example, you could say Infosys or TCS, or there are lots and lots of companies. Every company has to ensure the security of their data. So in order to ensure the security of the data, they must manage the network. So that is where the network engineers and network security architects come into part. They analyze the data. They just literally scan
I,
each and every kind of IPs and get into the
yes,
system, and they'll just filter out the unwanted and unauthorized accesses, and they make the systems and all the network still more secure.
I got it.
So you could say there is a kind of thing called bug bounty. Bug bounty is
Yeah,
thing
bro.
like oh yeah.
They just distinguish between the separate domain like a bug bounty. There are common to cyber security. Yeah, so if you don't mind, just give some simple elaborate about blue team. Hello, sir, I'm audible. Hello.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Yes, sir. Sir, myself, Muhammad Amin. I'm a security information event management student. Uh, what kind of inside the blue team? What that means that we, network depends start from and network depends that covers into a cyber forensic. Uh, why does the cyber forensic involved to this networking means when one device is uncommunicatable, we just made the device communicatable. That is the cyber forensic. So that involves into blue team. Whenever the attack performance that after blue team only entered to investigate that. Likely they use that forensic tool like oxygen, some kind of tools. That's why the blue team involves into the networking and forensic incident responder and threat intelligence. That kind of. If there any else, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. There is another kind of domain. Yeah, you're right. There is another kind of domain called cyber forensics. So, cyber forensics is a kind of sector where this kind of law enforcement agencies came into action. Because, for example, if there is a crime, the most important part is gathering the evidence and collecting the evidences, right? So, what if the evidence is in digital format? What if the evidence is a kind of thing which is produced, or if it is stored in a particular electrical device? For example, if you say there is a crime which has occurred. So the evidence which you send is in your mobile, and we must ensure, like, there is a kind of department in every courts and law enforcement agencies, the team called cyber forensics. What they exactly do is they just scan the file, and they'll just give a report that this file is not tampered.
Yeah,
So
just
anybody could edit any such data. So we could able to tamper and manipulate into any data, so that the case even changes. It literally turns to the opposite side. So there will be an injustice in the court judgments. So that is where the cyber forensics come into action. So in cyber
Yeah,
forensics, there are a lot of subtypes, you could say, like computer forensics, network forensics, system forensics, memory forensics. There are lots and lots of kind of subdomains, but you could generally categorize this particular domain as cyber forensics. So if you get into ethical hacking, like the hackers, there are a lot of kinds of hackers, such as like gray hat, black hat, and white hat. Generally, there are nine such categories, but most predominantly hackers come into these three categories, which is black, white, and gray. Black hat hackers are nothing but they are completely illegal. They doesn't follow any rules and regulations, and they do malpractices and unethical ways. But white hat hackers, they have certain regulations, and also they do hacking ethically by they hack by the consent of the particular company to ensure the safety of the company. Gray hat is a kind contrary. What they do is sometimes they obey, sometimes they go legally, sometimes they go ma- uh, malpractically.
yeah, they use the code for their own self.
Yeah, yeah. So that is where this kind of hackers are coming into part. So you could say how cybersecurity is booming, because I would like to say how this kind of thing is emerging in this particular era. So in this era, each and everybody uses mobile phones. As I said before, there is a huge technical and technological development which are taken place. So most probably everybody uses phones, and each and every data you send, there is a lot of insecurities coming nowadays. So that there are lots of companies, and also lots and lots of data. So that in order to protect these data, people are hiring, like there are lots of companies who are hiring people who are there in the cybersecurity domain. This is because they want to ensure safety, because privacy is the most important case in the technology nowadays.
And next, another issue is when the rural area people come to the cybersecurity, they don't see the cybersecurity like a profession. They just want to see other personals. That is the main issue to the cybersecurity domain. That do damage our profession.
Yeah, actually, what people do is people just learn a bit basics of hacking, and they just do unethical practices. But that must be strictly avoided, because
Prohibited, yes.
this kind of thing is just made in order to protect the systems.
Yeah, correct. And nowadays too, they make too sensitive. When the rural area people handle this kind of things, that too sensitive to all sides.
Yeah, yeah, I could get it. Yeah. So as I said before, cybersecurity is a booming career nowadays. A lot of people are getting placed as SOC analysts, and also web penetration testers, network security administrators, and network architects over there. We could see there is a lot and lots of vacancies for cybersecurity roles in uh, IT parks, such as in Bangalore and in US, and also there is a lots and lots of opportunities in Canada as well. Everywhere, if you learn the cybersecurity, it would definitely boom until if there's a span of 10 years. According to a study, there is a chance of around 0.5 million employment opportunities by like around 2030. So this career is a master booming career, and I would like to make you aware of the kind of things, because cyber crimes, everybody would have experienced at least once in their lifetime about exactly cybercrime, because there is a kind of crime called carding. Like what people do is they hack credit cards and get the funds stolen by it. They just
Yeah,
uh,
that's why I'm
use
telling that
the
the
home
rural
delivery.
area. Yeah, brother, that's only sir. That's why I'm telling when the rural area people handle this kind of thing, they made them like yeah useless. You got it. They no kind of separate domain. They only take the separate domain and they start selling like a carding course. That's too useless.
Yeah, there are some illegal activities also running, so we'll be discussing about in the later part.
Mm.
So as I said before, there are lots of cyber crimes. There are identity thefts, which people do is they steal your identity, and they just like use that particular identity in order to do some malicious activities. Like if you're a patient, assume you're a patient. What people do is they just steal your medical reports from computers which are there in the hospitals, and they buy some drugs which are not permitted by the
Normal.
normal citizens. So this kind of identity theft also occurs. Also, there is a kind of crime called financial theft. So financial theft is what people do is they get loans on behalf of your identities without your consent, and they just elope with that particular cash. So this is the popular scam which is running in India, because what people do is they just get fake documents from other people, from Xerox shops and photocopy shops where people used to take copies of their particular documents. What they do is they just get another kind of extra copy.
Yeah, that's
After that,
major reason is that's major reason is they want to impress other people using that weapon hacking, but they don't know what kind of danger inside of the hacking, what kind of danger the data leaking. They want simple
yeah,
impression using the hacking.
people are unaware about the risks about data theft and data loss, especially in countries which are developing. They focus more on, they're not focusing more on security and also data. So in a country like India, what we do is we are just leaking our data as it is easily. So this makes ourselves vulnerable to all these kind of scammers and hackers who are using our data in order to get do some malicious crimes. So these are not only two or three crimes. There are crimes like organ theft, and there are lots and lots of crimes. If you get into darknet, I think you might have heard about darknet. So darknet is a hub of illegal activities. For example, there is organ trade. There is a kind of things called narcotic trade. Like you know about narcotics, I think. There's
Hmm.
people sell drugs over there. People sell ammos and guns. People sell counterfeit notes over there. So all the kind of illegal activities which are prohibited by the country would be allowed in darknet, because people can't find who exactly is doing it. So that is the one major reason people are using Tor, which is darknet, as a illegal hub. So I just wanted to say you that people are still unaware about these much crimes which are occurring. So we must get an idea that these are the crimes that are occurring. So we must ensure our safety first, because in this fastened digital era, people, we are very fast. We just need, we are just quick, and we just don't spend time for much time on all the other things. So we must be aware of these kind of things. There are also kind of things where AI comes into part. Is AI is a really a great technology, but still you might be heard of deep fakes and those kind of AI, which literally makes a lot of backwardness
Yeah,
in our society. People are aware
yeah.
of
What the major
even
reason
showing
is
their images to lot and lots of people, because the concept in deepfake is what actually is. They use the technology of AI in order to change your face and morph your face into some other random videos, which could potentially make it's an ill video. Like it is a kind of video which shouldn't be seen by
got it. Understood,
lot and lots of
understood.
people, so that it defames you. So that most there are lots and lots of suicide cases on behalf of this.
Yeah, so that's
So
my thought is the supervision power is not right. Who's the supervisor of the uh, on the place? The guy won't handle the true protocol. You got it.
yeah, the people who are there in the chairs, I mean, like, who are working for the government, and also people who are ruling the government, they must ensure the safety of the citizens, not physically but also technologically. Since,
Yeah,
see, like, these are the crimes which are occurring even today. Like, there are two cases which I've seen, which I saw in the local newspaper daily, that there are two scam people lost around 20, nearly half a million, and another person,
correct,
he just
correct.
lost around 1 million, which is 1 million in INR, which is Indian currency, just because of this kind of hackers. So these kind of
Correct.
things are there, right? So we must be aware of this. So that by awareing, I just wanted to know, since there is an emergence of this much crimes, there is another kind of emergence of a sector called, in a government, called cybersecurity. Each and every district, each and every state has a kind of department called cyber cell. The ultimate motto of cyber cell is to investigate on cases which are regarding and related to this kind of criminal based activities which are running over internet and all.
But nowadays the politicians and the influence persons only handle the cyber cell.
Yeah, you're right. There are some kind of things which are also like that. So
Hmm.
the thing is, There are employment opportunities which are not only by private sector but also in the government sector.
Yeah, correct.
So cybersecurity is a vast field. If you have an idea to just continue it, you could just make it by this kind of things. All I could say is, in this sector, you need is patience, because anybody can't be a master the day one. Every day you must practice. You must learn. You must find. You must practice all those kind of tools, vulnerabilities, codes, and all those kind of things. So, at a span of 2 to 3 years, definitely, I'm sure that you'll be a better cybersecurity expert than the particular, because practice is what makes a man perfect. So if you have an idea of pursuing your career in cybersecurity, you could definitely start it today, because a lot of people, I think, like few of my connections over there in LinkedIn, they just learn cybersecurity at their age 50. They still learn
Yeah, sure. I ensure my
without their works. They learn just because a worth of the cybersecurity domain.
got it, bro, got it. Next, if you don't mind, sir, if you just elaborate about that, what kind of thing happened into India based on cybersecurity.
So according to the cybersecurity stats in India, like most of the crimes occurring are based off OTP based frauds. Like actually in India, we people uses OTP based cards. Most of the countries like US, they use non OTP based cards. So that making a payment processing in India requires an OTP. So if somebody steals or stolen your card details, the only thing they need is your OTP in order to make the transaction. So similar way, using this particular techniques, few scammers emerged and they just use this particular kind of tech into a thing where it could drastically turn this kind of tech into a enormous crime. There are like millions of dollars, hundreds and thousands millions of dollars were looted just because of this kind of credit based scams. So
Okay.
another kind of leading thing I just want to specify in this webinar is uh, loan-based scams. Some apps, what they do is they just get few infos of you and your family. Also, some require documents and they provide instant loans. So what these kind of apps do is they just get your data, morph your data. If you're not paying on time, they just lay you an interest of around 10x, and if you're not going to pay it, what they'll be doing is they'll be morphing your photos and they'll just start blackmailing, and they just ask a ransom. So this kind of thing is also occurring. There is another popular thing called Pegasus, which was it was a material, it was a talk material which was there like around 7 to 8 months past.
Yeah, to
Actually,
have
what
more much knowledge about
Pegasus do?
cybersecurity. Until yeah, you proceed after it. Then.
Yeah. Uh, the most important thing about Pegasus is it was a kind of spyware. Spyware is nothing but it is a kind of software which is used to spy on someone, to collect someone's data without their consent. Hackers use spywares. So one of the spyware which is in advanced, like the one of the advanced spyware is called Pegasus, which was used to collect some sensitive information, which are
Like a
confidential
remote
information, like information which
track.
are relating to the government. Yeah, so informations are which are about the government. It was been like they just spied on government officials for a long period of time.
Okay.
There is something called ransomware. This is a kind of software. What it does is it just comes into your system, encrypts all your files. Encrypts means it just converts that into a unreadable form. So it asks for a ransom in order to release those kind of files. So if it's for common people, most probably we don't care. But if it's for a company who has some sensitive data, who has some data which are really needed for them, what they do is they just pay the ransom and get the decryption, and they then decrypt it. So this kind of ransomware attacks was also going there. So I just wanted to specify you, cybersecurity is a vast domain which couldn't be explained in a particular 45 minutes. If you want to pursue your career into cybersecurity, you must learn the basic fundamentals, step into all the kind of each and every topic. Just don't rush, just go slow, and day by day you could just improve a bit. YouTube is the best resource. There are a lot and lots of openly available resources in the internet. You could just search. The only thing you have to do is you should search each and everything.
Okay.
If you're consistent, and surely you'll be successful in this domain.
Yeah, in this field, we just depend ourselves, depend our creativity knowledge only helps to grow up ourselves. And that's next major thing is how the virus will spread means who the hacker have a little bit knowledge about the programming. They only create the ransomware. They wanted the only money-minded guys. They don't care about the professionality. So only the major scam done in
That is
India.
where black hat and grey hat hackers come into action. Is their motto is money,
Yeah,
not about the security of the people. That is where they do things for money. That is the thing. They are called as
that's
cyber criminals also.
correct. When the supervision is too honest, the gray hat won't able to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. The people who are there in the firm, that is like who are there in the cyber cell and law enforcement agencies, they must be concerned about the security of the people. So
Say your voice. Hello, Ashwin
Ashwin,
Raghav
I
sir.
think your voice is muted.
Ashwin Raghav sir.
Okay, so Mohammed, in between, so let me introduce myself. So, my name is Bhubalan. So, I'm a lead of OS chapter Kanjipuram. So, let me need to add some more points into Ashwin's points. Like as you asked, like which type of devices are hackable. So, when a system or device is communicating with any other devices, it's actually hackable. So this is an add-on point in that particular thing. And another add-on point is like you are asked about the Indian crime, right? So not only the Indian crimes, in globally the phishing attack is the phishing attack is uh, playing a
Got it, sir.
major
Got it,
role
sir.
in cyber crimes because it's around 90%. When you compare to any other attacks, the phishing attacks will be uh, the phishing attacks will be happening more than other attacks. So it's around 90% compared to other any other attacks.
Correct, sir.
Alrighty. So thank you so much, everyone, actually, for the interaction that you have provided to our speaker along with the topic. So we really do appreciate the the actual interaction. Unfortunately, we have to end the actual session due to the speaker actually has another urgent matters, and we have extended a little time already on the webinar schedule. But definitely, you could get in touch with the speakers that we have in order for them to answer your questions offline. So you can search Akshali Jain on LinkedIn as well, and also for Ashwin Raghav, or you can search on Astra Cybersec company. So to send them message on the questions that you have, and they will definitely be answering your questions and your queries offline. All right. So I guess we have to close the session here, and thank you so much for attending the webinar. And we are inviting you again for the next schedule of the webinar, which is still the same date and time. Next Wednesday, we have two new topics and two new guest speaker. So we gladly invite you to join us again on the Zoom live session and also on the live session. And for those who have sent their greetings or questions on YouTube Live, I'm afraid we cannot answer it as of the moment, as our speaker has another schedule, and we have exceeded the time limit for this webinar. So I will not hold you too long. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy and always keep safe. All right, so take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshali, very much.
Yeah, thanks, sir.